Hi everyone. First up, I'd just like to point out this isn't our kitchen. It's way too tidy and clean to be our kitchen. I don't know who that guy in the picture there is, but I've got this background on because I want to introduce us to a season of fasting and feasting, which we're having for Lent and Easter. Now, many of you know that Lent, beginning with Ash Wednesday, is traditionally a season of fasting, and not just for Christians, but for all sorts of people who wouldn't call themselves followers of Jesus. They'll be thinking about, okay, maybe I should give up chocolate or smoking or social media, whatever it is, for Lent. But that sort of fasting only ever goes sort of half the way, really, because for followers of Jesus, fasting isn't just about giving up things so that we can have a clearer mind or a fitter body. We fast because we want to go deeper with God. Jesus said, "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God." And so fasting is a way to help us go deeper with God, go deeper into his word and his promises to us. And Jesus said that blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of God. But if we are honest, very few of us let ourselves actually feel hunger for more than an hour or two. And so we don't really know what it is to hunger and thirst for righteousness. And so this Lent, we'd like to encourage as many people as possible to join in with a season of fasting, not just to join in with the crowd or to lose weight, but to go deeper with God. That's one of our aims as a church, going deeper with God. And there is always more to discover of God and more to delight in with God. And so this season is going to be an opportunity for us to do just that. Now, some of us are used to fasting on a regular basis. For others, fasting will be a completely new experience. But I encourage you to go for it. It will be worth it, although it will be hard work. For some people, fasting from food isn't something that you should think about, particularly if you've got a medical condition such as diabetes or anorexia. But for the majority of people, vast majority of people, fasting from food for a little while is perfectly safe. And so maybe start with one meal or push it up to 12 hours or 24 hours or something like that. Drink lots of water, and it's perfectly safe to do. I'm going to do some more teaching into fasting and how to do it and why we do it on the 6th of March. But for now, I'd just love you to begin thinking about, okay, if I am going to fast from food, when during the week would I do it? Which meal or meals would I miss? Or if you're not going to fast from food, maybe there's something you know about that you often turn to for comfort when life gets difficult. Maybe you turn to chocolate or alcohol or shopping or pornography or whatever it is. Actually, that might be the thing to fast from for this season with God's help to help you go deeper with God in prayer. And to help us go deeper with God, there are some resources which we'd love to make available this Lent. One of them is Pete Gregg's new book on how to hear God. Many of us have really appreciated and benefited from Pete's previous books on prayer, and I'm sure this one will be excellent as well. So we're going to have copies available on Ash Wednesday and the Sundays after that, and if you'd like to reserve your copy, you can click here. It is a brand new book. But fasting is only half the story for this Lent and Easter. Food is one of God's good gifts to us. And so as well as encouraging people to fast, to go deeper with God, we also want to encourage people to feast as a celebration of all that God has given us that is so good for us. So Sunday by Sunday, to feast in God's goodness to us in Jesus. And of course, especially on Easter Sunday, to celebrate in Jesus' victory over death. What better reason for feasting could there ever be? And so to help us with the feasting side of this theme, we're hoping to have a big celebration lunch on Easter Sunday for the whole church family together, and for friends and others if we want to invite them. And I've also got some copies of this book, Simply Eat, which is a wonderful mixture of tasty recipes and short stories of how people have found at the meal table to be a real place where faith can be found and discovered and faith can grow and develop. And so I'm going to give a copy of that book to the first 10 people who say that they want to have some people round to their house. Maybe it's people from the church congregation, maybe it's friends or colleagues which you wouldn't normally have round to your house. Do it safely, of course, COVID-wise. But this is a way for us to step out and to welcome people into our homes. I was preaching the other Sunday about how for Jesus, his mission strategy was eating and drinking. And so this book is going to be a way to encourage and inspire people to do just that. So if you want to claim a free copy of that book, then tell me that you're going to have some people round to your house. So this Lent and Easter is a time of fasting and feasting. Fasting to help us go deeper with God, feasting to help us remember and delight in God's goodness and faithfulness to us. And I'd love you to think now about what you're going to fast from so that you're ready to start on Ash Wednesday. If you're fasting from food, think about which meals or which days of the week you're going to do it. If you're fasting from something else, then to work out what that's going to be. Pray about it, pray before God, and work out what that should be. And then you can order a copy of that Pete Greig book to help you go deeper with God, if that's something that you find helpful. And you can claim a copy of this book to help us with the feasting and rejoicing with what God has done. And this is going to be a daunting journey for some of us, exciting journey as well. If you feel daunted, well, you won't be alone in that. And so by doing this together as a church family, I hope we'll be able to pray for each other and encourage each other, share stories with each other as we go through this season, and rejoice together as we feast together at the end. Just one more quick thing, and that's just to flag up Ash Wednesday itself. And on Ash Wednesday, we're going to have a midday simple communion service for those who are able to join us in the middle of the day. And in the evening, we've got a special evening for those who are feeling weary at the moment. And my guess is that's most of us, weary with the pandemic, weary with work and so on. And Jesus invites us to come and find rest in him to all who are feeling weary and heavy laden. And so through a mixture of music and guided meditations and prayer and communion and so on, we want to offer all those who are feeling weary the opportunity to find rest in Jesus. And so that's this Ash Wednesday. We'd love you to join us if you're able to. So that's all from me for now. Thank you for listening, and let's enjoy the fasting and feasting this Lent and Easter.